Hi, so I am going to do the psychosocial theories of aging. The one I chose was the psychosocial activity. Um, I'm going to hurry fast through this because my video doesn't do well when I take a long time. This explores the concepts such as disengagement, activity, and continuity. A study from 1953 showed that society expects the older adult to be active in society. This has remained an active theory since conceived in 1963 as an actual theory when the study found that remaining occupied and involved is a necessary ingredient to satisfying late life. It suggests that prolonging midlife may delay the negative effects on old age. Other thoughts are that being social and meeting friends for lunch, etc., instead of being solitary, are more likely to improve life satisfaction than a formal or solitary activities. We also know this to be true in serial killers when they tend to be solitary for quite a while and then come back out of that. It's never good. But I digress. Sometimes, some studies also say that women shopping did not make their lives feel more satisfied as an older adult, but rather the type of activity was what satisfied them instead of the frequency. So when they were able to do things that satisfied them, not just go walk around the store, that was when their life became more satisfied. I chose this theory because I believe my parents are the perfect example of this theory. They have traveled with different people and different groups all over the country and all over the world. They play in golf tournaments all over the Midwest and in Europe on a regular basis, sometimes 4 times a year. They enjoy playing golf, betting a quarter a hole. I mean, they all have enough money now that they're retired and they bet a quarter a hole, and all it is bragging rights, which they just have a ball with. Sometimes they play betting games like the quarter hole, or the loser wears a dress the next day. They've had that one up for 40 years. They've got 40 years of pictures with a man in a dress that he was the biggest loser the day before, so he had to wear a dress the next day. Sometimes they'll wear it to dinner that night. They have a great time, but they have all kinds of parties with their friends. One couple has a tacky party every year where they put plastic on the furniture. They have a potty chart written in the bathroom for her husband, a large brassiere laid over the shower. You write your name on a Solo cup, those kinds of things. And these are people that are relatively wealthy, so it just makes it funnier. But my dad wore cut off jean shorts and cowboy boots one year. He's 70 years old. So they have a really good time, and they have for decades with all these different groups. They go with the Cattlemen's Association all over the country also, and they learn about different ranches and the way that they do things and how they improve their feed and the food that we have in the country for consumption. So they do different things, meet different people for lunch, for dinner, for trips, all those kinds of things. And I really think that they have delayed their old age because of it. Many of their friends are starting to pass away now, and they're having a hard time with that loss. They still get up every day and plan trips and outings and golf, but I hope that I'm exactly like that when I'm an older adult. Well, I hope that I'm like that next year, really, the way that they are. But I also wanted to say that this pertains to my older adult in that I interviewed. He and his wife have their own activities that keep them busy and that they absolutely love and they're doing really well with. Neither one of them drive anymore. They don't have cars anymore, and they don't have the very best memory, but they walk. They get up and walk every single day. If the weather's bad, their daughter or son will come and get them and take them to the mall and drop them off for an hour and let them walk, and then come back and pick them up. They tend to their garden outside a lot. They do a lot of gardening, and their daughter, which I thought was the sweetest thing, but she set up grow boxes that are about 2.5 feet high off the floor in their garage since they don't have cars anymore. And then she changed the windows. She put a couple of skylights in the windows in that garage so that they can tend to their garden year round in their garage. Like it's their own little greenhouse, really, because they just love to do that. And they can sit in chairs to weed. I mean, just it's a great setup for them, and they stay active because of it. Um, but I believe that most people can engage in activities regardless of their issues. But I think it starts much earlier, like the book said, than old age. I think it starts in middle age, and doing those activities and taking care of yourself and etc. That will spur on into your future. I used our older adult gerontological book, and I looked up the psychosocial theories through the ANA. And there was several studies that I quoted in here. I might not have read them to you, but they were Havinghurst and Albrecht in 1953, and Havinghurst, Nergarten, and Tobin in 1963 that talked about activity in the older adult. Thanks so much. Hope this works.